opera singer and an alleged super spreader.
And I'm Anne. I sing jazz and cabaret songs. And all of my gigs were canceled.
But we won't let the pandemic silence us.
No, we love to watch movies.
Well, she does.
And so because of the pandemic,
Remakes, what were they thinking?
Was born.
On this Fringe Spectacular.
We pulled the stops out just for you with a salute to...
Hello, Dolly.
No. Hello, Dolly. But since it's
Remakes, what were they thinking? We'll begin, as usual, by comparing Hello, Dolly to its original film, The Matchmaker. What's our plot, Anne?
Well, the plot originated in the 1835 English play titled A Day Well Spent by John Oxenford. Johann Nestori took the play. Can you pronounce it?
Einen Jux will sich machen.
Yes, it translates to...
He'll have himself a good time.
Thornton Wilder took that same plot and made it into The Merchant of Yonkers in 1938. It was a flop.
Meow, meow.
So he took the play and edited it, renamed it to The Matchmaker, and expanded on the Dolly Levi role.
Huzzah! But what's our plot, Anne?
Matchmaker Dolly Levi travels to Yonkers, New York to meet with the wealthy Horace Vandergelder, on whom she has designs. She takes him and his two clerks into the city where a game of love ensues and everyone ends up in love at the end.
So we're gonna need some props.
I told you we can't use the Babs doll.
But
we have to be historically accurate. This is Fringe.
Fine! To represent the 1968 original, The Matchmaker, we will be using this Barbie doll.
She's so lovely.
She's okay. To represent the 1969 musical remake, Hello Dolly, Not Babs, we will use this faux Barbie doll.
So beautiful.
So beautiful. It's not Babs.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out.
All right, we're all matchmakered up and ready to talk characters for both films.
Well, first off, we've got Dolly Levi. She's a widow and she's interested in everyone's business. Horace Vandergelder is a local businessman. He's a widower and he's apparently very wealthy. Ooh. Cornelius and Barnaby are his employees. Later on, we'll meet Irene Malloy. She has a millinery store.
It's a hat store.
And Minnie Fay is her employee.
Those are the main characters in a nutshell. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about what we liked and disliked about the characters in each of the films.
Very good. Let's start with Dolly. In the 1958 movie The Matchmaker, she was portrayed by Shirley Booth. You might recall her in this series. Anyway, she played her beautifully. She was a matronly woman that was bubbly, and she was always poking about in people's business. I loved it.
I appreciated the fact that she had a lot of side hustles, a business card for everything. Essentially, she's a millennial. Also, oh my goodness, she catfishes Horace. Genius! Brilliant!
Let's move on to the 1969 musical Hello Dolly, played by Barbra Streisand. She did a great job as a fast-talking hustler, but I wasn't too sold on her.
I mean, I really enjoyed when she did the whole da-da-da-da-da-da-da, just leave everything to me.
You don't like musicals, remember?
I know. We will be circling back and talking about Miss Streisand's performance later in the special.
Let's share our thoughts about the leading man, Horace Vandergelder.
Starting with the 1958 original.
He was played by Paul Ford as a gruff, angry old man.
Oh, please. He was a conservative misogynist. He said the 1%ers were superior, whereas the 99%ers were fools. He also said women must tend the house.
How do you really feel about him, Kerri? What about Walter Matthau in Hello Dolly? It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink.
I find him weirdly attractive in this movie.
You've got issues.
Yikes.
He said the same lines that Paul Ford did in The Matchmaker.
I know, but the entire time I was like, why is Walter Matthau attractive?
Oh, that's your problem.
I know. I guess it's time to move on to the secondary characters for both of the films.
Let's start with the ingenue Irene Malloy. 1958, The Matchmaker. She was portrayed by Shirley MacLaine. Oh, she can do no wrong. She's beautiful. And she played the character with such grace. And she was cute and bubbly when she needed to be. I loved her.
I thought she was spunky. I loved her. I really enjoyed her whole, I'm a working girl, I own a business, no one's ever going to see these legs, I'm never going to get married speech. Girl, I get you.
So what about in the 1969 Hello Dolly version? The actress's name was Marianne McAndrews.
I have a problem with the fact that she didn't actually sing.
Yeah.
Her voice was dubbed. I don't know. She was very matronly and also kind of looked like a psychopath. All she needed was a knife in her hand because every time she was like, oh, those are delicious, or what are those men doing in my store? They wasn't sexy psycho. It was just like, what?
Did you notice when she walked, she had this annoying way of gliding and it reminded me of someone else.
Nope.
Let's talk about Irene Malloy's love interest, Cornelius. He was the head clerk for Van de Gelder's store.
Starting with the 1958 original.
He was played by Anthony Perkins. He did a fine job. It's a basic role. Handsome young man. He did grow up to play Norman Bates in Psycho.
Well, you can't hold that against him. It's a good role. So in the 1969 musical remake, we have a very young Michael Crawford. Some of you may know him from his theater work in West End and Broadway, etc. So, dude, we get it. You are 29 3/4. How many times do you need to state this in the movie? Also, we get it. You've never kissed a girl, but you don't need to brag about your lack of experience. Yikes. We have made an executive decision.
We've decided not to talk about Barnaby or Minnie Fay.
Because they were basically human props.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you back where you belong. We are all gussied up to talk about plot differences, storytelling, and of course, the music. Let's begin by talking about the opening sequence to The Matchmaker. It opens up with a tableau. And of course, a tableau is people frozen in their scene.
Nope. Do not put tableaus in movies. I humbly believe that they belong on stage only. It does not carry a movie off. I do not like it. No.
And then the tableau unfroze and Dolly started speaking to the audience. She broke the fourth wall.
Absolutely not. I watch movies to get away from the world. I do not need to answer your character's question of, well, you folks at the movies understand what it's like. No, put your anachronism sign away. I don't care if it's an anachronism. I hate this type of movie, and literally, if this wasn't for ChatterBox, I would have turned it off.
Well then, how about we move on to the opening sequence of Hello Dolly? Being a musician, you must have appreciated the rhythmic pattern of the people on the street and the clicking of this and that.
Absolutely not. I do not need to see an 1890s interpretation of Stop with the shuffling and the bustling. It makes no sense. There is no point. Absolutely not. It was a terrible beginning.
I loved it.
Of course you did.
Can I talk about the millinery shop in Hello Dolly?
Absolutely. Take it away, Anne.
For a hat shop, I didn't see many hats.
No.
It was very pretty. It was large. Table, I guess room for dancing?
Where were the hats?
Where were the hats?
Where were the hats?
I saw boa. I saw things
didn't
to put on
see any
hats,
hats, but then again, she did look like a psychopath, so maybe that's why.
She was hiding the knives somewhere too.
Also, look, boutique shops in New York City are typically really small and the rent is too damn high. So what are you trying to prove in this film? I know. Let's talk about the fact that Tommy Tune is in the musical remake, shall we? Okay, so the guy's like 6'6". They pair him up with a gal who's 4'10", which looks ridiculous. He can't really act, but you feel bad for him because he's got these cute little puppy dog eyes and he's all like, and smiley and everything, and dude can dance, so I gotta give him that. But when he's in the ensemble numbers, he looks like Optimus Prime is essentially invading your micro machines. I mean, seriously, what?
I'd like to talk about a character whose presence was in both films, but only showed up in one.
All right, starting with the matchmaker.
So in The Matchmaker, there was reference to someone named Ernestina, either Simple or Money. We never saw her, but she was supposed to be fixed up with a date for Horace.
This is the catfishing incident I was talking about.
So let's move on to Hello Dolly.
Okay.
They actually made the character, and she was brass. She fit the bill, but you know what? I liked it better without the character, without the actress. I liked it implied.
I kind of feel like they made the Ernestina character because, like in high school productions, like you have too many kids who audition and not enough roles. So let's like split this character in half and call her Winnie and Minnie, and or your starfish number 1 through 5. Like that's basically what Ernestina was in Hello Dolly for me.
And it was extra material. It just wasn't needed.
Nope.
We need to talk about how Cornelius and Barnaby planned how they were going to leave the store to go into New York City for a night of fun.
So in both films, these basic guys come up with this idea that they're going to blow up cans in the store, whether it be like canned tomatoes or canned peaches. Dudes, just start a fire!
And why peaches or tomatoes? If they burst, they're not gonna smell. You gotta find something that would really
Seriously,
work.
Horace would have been okay with it. He would have taken the insurance money. It was no big deal.
And you can just picture the prop guy down below tossing these cans up.
In fact, in the Hello Dolly version, it literally looks like some dude is just tossing cans.
It was so ridiculous.
I guess we're going to talk about the music to Hello Dolly.
I am so excited to talk about the music written by Jerry Herman. You may recall, he also wrote the music to Mame.
If you want to know our opinions about Mame, head to our YouTube channel and watch episode 13. We've got elegance. We were born with elegance. You can never ever carry it off. What a stupid song! Anyway, Anne really wants to continue talking about the musical numbers.
Don't look for shooting stars, for love is only love. The screenwriter-producer, Ernest Lehman, felt that there were many production numbers that featured dancing and upbeat numbers. He wanted to give Barbra Streisand an opportunity to showcase her real vocal style. So the song Love is Only Love was written for her. Okay.
Did you think we'd forget the iconic song?
Hello, Dolly! Yes, folks, we are now at the fabulous Harmonia Gardens, where Dolly Levi shows up and is serenaded by none other than the fabulous Louis Armstrong. He showed up to film 28 pounds lighter, and he did it in one take.
The man is magnificent, and saved the movie for me.
We mentioned that we'd circle back and talk about Barbra Streisand's performance.
All right, here we go.
I loved your voice. You can't go wrong with a Barbra Streisand musical performance. She does such a beautiful job. Her dialogue in this film, though, is sometimes she was too fast. And I also noticed that sometimes she wasn't strong in the character part of it.
I don't know. She was way too young for the role. She wasn't matronly enough. Also, girl, learn how to lip sync. Why didn't they use Carol Channing? I loved her in Hello Dolly.
When did you see Hello Dolly? You weren't even born then.
On Sesame Street.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. The producer-screenwriter, Ernest Lehman, had to have Barbra Streisand. He loved her musical performances. But there was an outpouring of support to Carol Channing that she didn't get the role because she played it on Broadway. Julie Andrews sent her a telegram and said, Don't worry, you'll get your Mary Poppins. And Thornton Wilder, the playwright, he kept sending her telegrams expressing his sorrow that she didn't get the role. I don't know, but that seems like a little creepy and over the top, don't
it's
you
a
think?
little inappropriate.
I think so, too.
I mean, even Barbara Streisand herself thought that she was too young for the role, and it was just a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess it's time to wrap it up. Our Fringe audience is probably sick of us.
This is the time where we choose our favorite film. I'll start. I really enjoyed The Matchmaker. I'm a big fan of classic films, and I loved Shirley Booth and Shirley MacLaine and Anthony Perkins. They did a great job with their characters. But you know, I also appreciated Hello Dolly. I didn't mind the long numbers. The music was nice, but my favorite aspect to the film is the costumes. I love to watch the detail, the way the colors are chosen, and I like to look for the historical accuracy. What do you think?
I have to choose one.
Would be nice.
Fine. I choose the original The Matchmaker. But can we start at Irene's hat shop? Let's skip past that terrible tableau. Let's skip past Horace's rant. Maybe throw in a little bit of that catfishing with Ernestina because that was just funny. The story is basic and I'm good.
Well, folks, that wraps up our Fringe Spectacular of Remakes. What were they thinking?
If you like what you saw, feel free to check out our YouTube channel. This has been our pandemic project.
Remember to support your local musicians. A lot of us are unable to perform in public right now.
We do have a virtual tip jar located in our description section of this video. So,
wave a little hand and whisper so long, dearie.
Dearie should have said so long ago. Bye, everyone. Stay safe and well.
Keep watching movies. We love you.